Hello there, this is Kimberly Inez, and if you don't know me, I demystify technology for small businesses and startups so that they can use marketing automation to generate and nurture leads. And also, we are going to be talking about all things AI. So in this video, I'm going to be going over AI video. And I covered it about a couple of months ago when Sora came out. I did a quick and dirty review. I wanted to be first, but I didn't really like that review or like that walkthrough of it because number one, it was just brand new to me, so I didn't really know what I was doing. And then number two, so many things have come out since then. And so what I want to do is kind of a fun demonstration of how and why you might want to be using AI generated videos for your business, some of the things that I think it could be great for, and some of the things I think it could be terrible for. And this is just my opinion, you know, everybody's opinions are different. But before I go into the demo part and the screen sharing part, I do want to tell you why you might want to consider it. You may want to consider it if you are a content creator and you need B-roll footage that you can't get anywhere else. Meaning, you know, if you go to any of those stock images or stock video sites and you cannot find the diversity you want or the scene you want, and you want something very unique and specific as filler, as B-roll for your videos, definitely check that out. I think it does a pretty good job of proof of concepts and mock-ups. You know, let's say if you want to record a video or shoot a video and you just need to know what the scene could look like, I think that that could be a great use case for it as well. And as well as just entertainment overall, I think that for advertisements and for social media posts and things like that, you do want to quickly capture someone's attention. So if you can do that with something that is unique to your brand, you can use it for storytelling, you can use it for just a whole lot of things. But then, you know, when there's an upside, there's also a downside. So some of the downsides I can see to this are that, you know, a lot of times people do use this to do deep fakes, use someone's likeness without their permission. Definitely don't do that. Definitely don't be misleading. If for whatever reason somebody thinks it's a real video and it's not, you don't want to misrepresent you or your brand or misrepresent something that occurred that did not occur. Basically, don't be fraudulent. That's all I'm saying. Don't be fraudulent. And also pay attention to the quality before you publish something. I remember a couple of months ago when it was around Christmas time, Coca-Cola generated an AI version of their classic polar bear video or some video, and people hated it. You still get the uncanny valley effect no matter which system you use. I've only seen a couple of things that I scratched my head and wondered if it can be real. I'm really good at spotting fakes, and I think it has something just to do with the eye movement, the lip movement, the head movement. If you start seeing these things be repetitive or very exaggerated expressions or people in the background who don't look quite right, you don't want to pass something off as real and if it isn't. And I spoke about the uncanny valley effect before and why it makes people very angry. So you have to be mindful of that. In my opinion, I think that these video generators are good for B-roll footage, nature, scenery, things like that. When it comes to people, it gets a little bit wonky, especially with facial expressions and things of that nature. So without further ado, let's get started and let's dig into it. To go. So let's just dive in. So what I have on the screen right now is Sora. So Sora is OpenAI's image and video generator, and it's been out for quite a while. And as you can see, these are not things that I've made, but these are things that I have that other people have made. And let's just actually come the fuck on. Okay, so now I'm ready. And if you look on the screen, you'll see Sora.com or Sora AI. This is OpenAI's video generator, and it's come out a couple of months ago, but now it does images and video, which is really cool. And I use this almost every single day. I think it gives you really, really great image quality. It has it has a lot of cool features, and I think for the most part it does a great job doing what you want it to do. I don't think you have to do any complex prompting to get the output you want. That being said, I think that generating images is a lot easier than generating videos. Now, what you see me scrolling through are videos and images that other people have made. So I don't take ownership for anything that you see here. So if you see anything here that you like, or anything that you have a strong dislike for, just know that I am not responsible for it because I have not generated these images. So now we are going to test out Sora against Google VO, and this is VO2, and we can generate an 8-second video from text. Videos are in landscape and 720p resolution. So it's limited for now, but I expect it to remove some of those limitations. So maybe you get a longer generation, or you get a different resolution and a different aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is really important because you may want to post it on Instagram or as a reel or as some other piece of content, and you don't necessarily want to have to do those do that cropping. So Sora does give you 3 choices of aspect ratios. That's 3:2. So that's not cinematic, it's not the typical widescreen, but it's 3:2, so that's landscape. Then you get the 1:1, that's a square, and then you get the 2:3, that's usually like a reel or something. You don't get 16:9, which is YouTube sized, but you can always pop it into Canva or any other program and resize it to your liking. So through the magic of video, I have 3 prompts already prepared, ready to go, and ready to test. Now, when you put your prompt into one of these things, keep in mind that it does take a little bit of time to generate. So what I'll do is I'll go and I'll pause and I'll stop and start, and then we'll kind of go back and see what was the best result. So here's the first prompt: a hyper-realistic close-up of a dewdrop clinging to the very tip of a vibrant red rose petal. So let's put that in here. So in Sora, you have to select video, select your aspect ratio. They do have 16:9. I stand corrected. I was just looking at the images. So they do have 16:9 and 9:16. So 16:9 is YouTube size. 9:16 is like your phones, your reels, and things like that. And then here's just a regular widescreen, regular portrait style, and then you have your 1:1. Let's do everything 16:9 so that we get an apples to apples comparison. So we'll do a 16:9. It's a lot faster if you use 480p. And then let's generate a 10-second video. So what's cool about Sora is they have a feature called Storyboard, where you can really outline and fine-tune parts of your prompt or parts of the story to get the video that you want. I'm not going to do that because I want to do an apples to apples comparison. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in my prompt, the dewdrop clinging to the tip of a rose, and press go. And then I'm going to open Gemini Advanced VO2 and do the same. So I'm going to paste that in, and I'm going to see what the result is. So it says, just a sec. It says generating your video can take 1 to 2 minutes. And this one, you get a little thing up here. So it's at 79. Oh, you actually get it 90%. So I may not need to actually stop the video and pause. Okay, you get 91%. Let's see. This is actually working quite quickly, which is pretty cool. So, okay, so hyper-realistic close-up of a dewdrop hanging from the tip of a vibrant red rose petal. Inside the dewdrop, the entire rose and surrounding out-of-focus garden are perfectly reflecting, showing the intricate details of the thorns and other blossoms. A gentle breeze causes the dewdrop to subtly wobble. So, it's not so prompt adherent because you can't really see the rest of the flower. You just see the tip of the petal. So it's hard to make out. If I didn't tell you what this was, you probably would think it's like an animal with teeth or something like that, you know, so it's a little strange. And then it says your video is ready. Okay, so this is a little bit more true to the prompt. So you see the flower, you see the dewdrop. I'm not sure if this is giving realistic just because of the shape of it, but you definitely see the flower. I think the dewdrop in this one is a lot nicer and more pleasant to look at. But this, you see that is a flower. It is shaking, but I'm not loving the way the dewdrop looks. So your mileage may vary, so just pick whatever one you like, but I think this is great if you're trying to show something in nature. Of course, I asked for prompts that are super complex so that we can put this to the test, to test the model's ability to understand intricate details, thorns, reflections, realism, and subtle motions like wobbling and stuff. So it requires a depth of field and how reflections work. So it's a very good start. So let's do another one. A whimsical steampunk workshop. This one is going to be really, really fun. So depending on how fast this generates, we can get that. So, and I was remiss in saying that you need a paid account on both of these platforms. So you need to be, I think, I can stand corrected, but I do think you need to be a paid member of OpenAI, and you do need Gemini Advanced, which is, as of this recording, $20 a month. So it is not free, or if it ever becomes free in the future, you know how it goes. It's freemium, you can use it a little bit and then you can't. So there's other models like Runway that had a freemium model that I've tested and played with. And I may do Runway in another video, play around with Runway some more. And there's a couple of other ones too that do some really cool things with AI video. So by no means are these the only two. These are just the only two that I am checking out. So, okay. So this is a whimsical steampunk workshop filled with bizarre clockwork, contraptions made of polished brass and copper. Tiny gears are spinning, steam hisses from the pipes, and a miniature robotic arm is carefully polishing a monocle. In the background, a large window reveals a fantastical cityscape with airships gently floating by. So we see the airship. We see, I don't know if this looks like a monocle, but we do see the robotic arm. We see the steam. We see the gears. All right, that's interesting. I don't know if I would use this, to be honest with you, but then again, you know, you get it until it works for you. So let's see. All right, so for my whimsical steampunk thing, it's queued at 84%. It's almost ready. So let's give it some time, and then we can look at some of the other videos that have been generated by Sora as well. And keep in mind too that I have not created these. These are ones that others have created, and they have a high percentage of likes. I don't think there's anything here that is not safe for work. There might be things that are borderline offensive depending on who you are, but you know, then again, I take no responsibility for anything that you see here because I didn't create it. But I did create this. Ooh, this is actually really good. I love the fact that the camera just pans and you can see the intricacies of the machine. Now, what I will say, it doesn't adhere to the prompt that I put in, but it's a more interesting video, if that makes sense. So I thought this was the more interesting of the two videos, but I did not see the robotic arm, I did not see the airships, and I did not see the monocle, I did not see the steam. So it literally did not do what I told it to do, but it did something better, if that makes any sense. So I guess the point, I would hate to say, I guess the point it's a tie. So for the first one, for the flower, I guess the point would go to Sora for the realistic dewdrop. But again, it didn't do what I told it to do for the rest of the flowers. So I guess the point would go to Vio. But then I guess it's a tie here because even though this, I guess I have to give the point to this one too, because it did what I wanted it to do. Unlike Sora produced something that is way more interesting, and I love this. but I can't give it a point just because it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So it's testing the model's understanding of specific aesthetic, complex environments, many interacting themes. And so again, the other one did a better job, but this one did a better video. So now let's create another one. So let's go back and create this one. A fluffy golden retriever with excitedly chases a bright laser pointer across the sun-drenched living room with hardwood floors and a patterned rug. So we're going to be testing believable character movement and emotion. So we're going to do that. And then for this one, let's do it at the same time so they can be ready about the same time. So and here are some of the other videos while we wait, because I need to fill some time while it's generating. But this parrot looks pretty cool. There's some other things that look cool. There's a shark walking around in the city. Again, a lot of things that people create I don't really love, but everyone's different. Everyone has their preferences. So let's see if Gemini is ready. Okay, 1 to 2 minutes, still working. Okay, so I'm just gonna scroll. And what's cool is that you can actually see the prompt that people have used. So this one is a stylish dinosaur walking confidently in a street. So if you see anything you like, you definitely can replicate it, and you can also remix it as well. This is cute. So you can actually remix the video. You can edit the loop. I'm gonna get out of this one and see where this one is. So that one is queued. So this one's ready. So here is the golden retriever puppy chasing a red laser pointer. So all right, I don't know what the person's holding in the first picture. So it does something that's a little weird, right? We see the laser pointer, but we don't see the chasing. So it literally didn't do what the prompt said. The puppy stumbles playfully, barks with joy, and his tail wags furiously. A human hand briefly enters the frame to move the laser pointer. So it does have the human hand, but you can see that there's a human hand with some sort of stick. And then it turns into a laser pointer, and here's another laser pointer at the end. I guess that's another human. So it captured the realistic dog movement, but the laser pointer thing was a fail to me. So let's see if Sora is done. So Sora is at 84%. This is a good day because sometimes it takes a really long time depending on capacity to generate anything. So this is cool. So playful puppy chase. Okay. I don't know. I would think that if I took the laser pointer thing out of the prompt, it would have been way better. Again, the dog's movements are very bizarre. You can see that look at the legs in the first couple of frames. So you can see like the body twist in a very unnatural way. So I can't give this one a point, even though it did the laser pointer thing a little bit better, but not much. You can see that it doesn't look like any laser pointer I ever use. So I guess the point would have to go towards VO, just because the dog looks more natural, but then they both failed on the laser pointer. I feel like I took the laser pointer out, it would be so much better. But then I also say that in the prompt, the dog should chase and be excited about the laser pointer, which I think VO failed to do. So I think my takeaway in a lot of these are that the fewer elements that you put in your prompt, the better result you're going to get. When you put too much stuff in there, to put too much scenery, too much going on, that's when it becomes a little harder to discern believable character movement, emotion, interactions, and things like that. So Here's another, oh, actually I have a couple of ones. I'm gonna probably cut this a little bit short. So let me just see. I have one that says 2 elderly squirrels in tiny Victorian era clothing are having a heated debate over a giant acorn. That's funny. The concept of time visualizes a flowing river. The feeling of loneliness depicted as a single small brightly origami crane sitting on, okay, that's interesting. Let me see another one. Samurai with glowing neon armor. And then here's another one. Salvador Dali. Yeah, because I actually have a collection of prompts I want to test out, but I don't want to make the video too long, you know? Let's say for a business, I would like to do the origami one. So let's simplify it, because I feel like the other ones would probably be borderline absurd to the point where you probably wouldn't use it. So let's do something that is a little bit more believable. So I am entering the prompt on both of them. The feeling of loneliness depicted on a small, brightly colored origami crane. So generating it takes like 1 to 2 minutes. Again, I'm generating a 10-second video in the OpenAI one and an 8-second video in the Gemini one. Gemini, I have fewer options, and I don't have storyboard, and I don't have a couple other things, but I think that, you know, they're coming out with it. Plus the uploads aren't available yet. So, you know, I do think that these things just come out so fast that you just have to sit back and wait and see what you get. All right. So the origami crane is queued. I'm actually gonna go look at some images while I wait. Oh, my video's ready. So, all right, so while Sora's loading up, I am going to look at Vio. Okay, just gonna do another refresh just to see if I can get everything back. While I wait for that, I'll go to the next tab. I think I have too many tabs open. I'm starting to get that white screen of death, which is unfortunate. So while I wait for that, I'll just tell you why you can use some of these things and why you shouldn't. So why you should use them, like I said before, B-roll, simple footage, simpler prompts, the better. It shouldn't be the bulk of your video. I still don't think it's there yet. I still think the uncanny valley, as we saw with the dog, is still very much a problem. But that is only my opinion, right? I think the best way to learn about any of these things is just to try. You can always subscribe to a model or a program for a month and then cancel it. And I think that is the best way to get your feet wet, get your hands dirty, and then also save some money too. So if I subscribe to something, I don't stay subscribed to it. I'll subscribe to it to learn it, to see if it's something that I want to use, and then I usually cancel it if it's something that is already duplicative of something I'm already invested in. So for some reason, my tabs are not tabbing, if that makes any sense. So I probably will end the demos there. Unfortunately, that happens a lot when I have just too much going on. And plus the crane video is not fully loaded yet, so I don't want to prolong what I'm going to say, right? Or prolong the demo. You've seen enough, you've seen it. I think that the VO shows a lot of promise, but I say the more enjoyable platform right now to use is still Sora, because it has that storyline feature, or storyboard feature rather. It has remixing, and it has more features right now. It's more mature, it's more feature rich, but I do think I see a lot of the others catching up. And then I'm going to probably do another video where I test out Runway, waiting for more updates from Runway and some of the other platforms, so I can do something that's really robust, and I'll make sure that I have enough RAM to keep it going. I know I am doing a lot of things that are very memory intensive, including the recording. Oh, but the crane is ready. And so let me show you. The crane is ready. And yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if it's a pleasant video to watch. It's not very appealing to me, but that's probably what I asked for. The feeling of loneliness depicted as a single brightly colored origami crane sitting under a vast empty grayscale plane under a stormy sky with distant lightning. So it literally did what I told it to do, right? So I don't know. The takeaway from this is to give it a try and then let me know how it goes. And my voice is going, so I just want to close this out, but that's all I got to say about that. But if this is something you'd like to use in your business, or to think of the suite of tools and a tech stack that you want to use in your business, then let's definitely have an automation insight session. You can literally integrate what you need for your business, and I can guide you through that process. So the automation insight session is a free 30-minute session which we talk about where you want to be, what you've tried before, what's working, what's not working, and how I can best support you. All right, so it's in the link wherever you're watching this, and yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Thank you for your time, and yeah, let me know what you think. And all right, video's over. All right, talk to you later. Bye.